Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ESL Challenger League. We are diving into season 47. It's day one of Europe. I'm Naira Mizuki, and I'm joined by Grimmy Rana. Freddie, how are you doing today? Looking forward to today's game?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Just came back from Epic Land. For any UK fans out there, you know it was on over last weekend, so there was a lot of Counter-Strike, a lot of action going on over there. But now I'm back in the big leagues, as one would say. I'm back in Europe, and I'm back with ESL Challenger straight off, and I honestly couldn't be any more excited.
Yeah, there's been a lot of big Counter-Strike just across the board over the last couple of months. I think it's been really, really exciting with, Blast, with the PGL RMRs. There's been so much to watch, so much exciting Counter-Strike, and everybody's wondering who's going to be the next Donk. Like, Donk is the current Donk. We're looking for the next up-and-coming Donk, and this is exactly where you find him. So we're going to be taking a look at the format for Season 47 in just a moment, but we have so many teams at the moment, Freddie, and the format is very similar to last season. But if you weren't with us last season, maybe you can give us a little bit of a rundown of what to expect.
Okay, so you probably look at something like this and you might get a little bit scared just because there's a lot of things going on. So I guess if you want to follow the top, if you want to go into each group, there's 4 different groups with 6 teams. If you end in the bottom 2, then you don't get straight eliminated, but you still have a chance to survive. And if you end in the top 2, you go through to the higher seeding of the elimination bracket, and then if you go into the middle seeding, you go into you go into like the middle seeding basically. From the higher group seed, if you get top 2 in your group, you are guaranteed to make playoffs. It just depends where you start in playoffs. If you start in medium seeding, so if you go 3rd and 4th, only 2 teams will progress through the playoffs. And then if you end in the bottom 2, only 3 teams will survive, but you don't have a chance to make playoffs. I think that vaguely is like an understanding.
Yeah, and of course, some of our teams, I believe 10 total, that do not make it to playoffs will at least be guaranteed a spot in season 48. So a lot to play for here, and of course, winning out the whole kit and caboodle, well, that takes you up to Challenger, and it's one step closer to that big dream of playing up in an actual major. So we've got a lot of steps, a lot of hurdles that need to be jumped through to get there, but we're going to start things off right here. We are going to be kicking things off with one of the games from Group A, but as we saw previously, there are 4 fully stacked groups all fighting it out for that number 1 spot, that number 1 seed. So we can go ahead and take a look at our groups and see what teams are duking it out this season. And of course, in our group, today our game kicking off with System5 versus PERA, but there are some heavy hitters in this group. Saw, Monty, there's some serious power here, and that's just in one of the groups.
Yeah, I think definitely when you look at Group A, you're looking at a Saw and Monty. Saw their brothers over in Koi just did really well, actually qualifying for the RMR, and so for the major, and so did Saw, if I'm not mistaken. They also qualified through Group A of the RMR. So you have, for the first time in ages, 2 kind of like Iberian teams making it through to the major, which is insanely exciting. Monty unfortunately didn't because they had some issues with SDY being ill. Gizmy, the UK boy, had to step in, but obviously it was a bit difficult with him. I mean, they actually won a game with him, and they didn't with SDY. So I don't know, but they have dropped SDY going into this season. So Monty will be looking for one, and this is a team that have been within the top like 15, top 20 of Counter-Strike for a long time. And now they've been made a little bit more mortal for the likes of maybe a Betterer who I guess you probably look at them as like the old Amiga guys, the like Lollipop, Masvel, Sad, and then if you go over to the other groups, you have like Apex, 3D Max, Big Academy, Sprout, Sinners, Aurora, Eyeballers, 9 Pandas, Koi, also making the major, TSM, Sangao, 9, like so many good teams. It's hard to pick out one.
I must be honest, the TSM threw me for a loop. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
hang on.
I don't know why. I'm looking at that. I don't know why I said TSM. That was a curveball from me.
Yeah, and having a look at their roster as well, you got some Danish players, a Swedish player, and I was like, hang on. But that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing Aurora. They've been kind of one of my favorite teams just because they had that era of like the rainbow hair. So, I'm an aesthetic person. But let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for the day. We've got 2 games that will be running concurrently. As I mentioned a little bit earlier on here on the A stream, we're going to have PERA Esports versus System5, or the ex-ICLA roster, for those who are a little bit more familiar familiar with them. And over on the B stream, ESL CSB, they're going to be having Saw versus Rush B. Lovely name that. So if you're a Saw fan, then head on over that side. But if you want to see how PERA fares here off of LAN and back on the server, remotely, this is the stream to be. Freddie, how are you feeling about today's game? How do you think it's going to go?
I think like just like a little monologue before we start. People have been criticizing PERA a lot because they went over to the RMRs and they didn't do too well. That didn't surprise me on the basis that if you look at the teams that they were playing up against pre-RMR, like they weren't playing against the teams that are at the level of Prezi, Game Legion, Cloud9. So they went to the RMR, they didn't do too well, but I don't think that was a surprise. This is a team that against the RMR is just going to be giving them loads more experience. They've already got the ESL Pro League spot because they won through the national qualifier spot, a national championship spot. So like they've got all these things ahead of them that are going to be giving them more and more experience and like kind of backing. I don't think people should be looking at this PERA roster and count them out straight away because yeah, they went 0-3, yeah, they didn't do too well, but that was anticipated. They're back to the grind now, and they're back to building up from the experience they got from the RMR.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that every team can be like an IHC that just rolls up one day and surprises everyone and blows everyone out of the water, right? So for PERA, like you said, they came through the national championship, absolutely floored it, and unfortunately just were not up to the standard of, some of our other teams. So we can take a look at the matchup here, see who's going to be in the server and what we can look forward to on these two rosters. And I got to admit, right, so we had the pleasure of casting PERA during the national championships, and some of the players really stood out to me, but I feel like DGL was such a big standout, right? The AWPer for the team, constantly showing up, constantly putting up numbers, and really being a huge boon for that roster. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to accomplish today, especially when matching up from 8X over on System5. Also, although I do see he's not in the lineup there, and I'm wondering if that's accurate because that would be a pretty big change, it feels like.
Yes, I am looking at that roster, and I really
that doesn't seem accurate
because Patrick and I think okay. So looking at the roster that we are anticipating for a System5, it's Mihu, Topper, 8X, Kavem, and Letcro. So the kind of like ex-Ikla roster. I'm not really sure what's happening with Letcro, just on the basis that I thought him and Draken had gone to, was it like Freddy Foosbears or like, it was a bit of a troll name, like, what it was like with, it was a new Swedish, so Johnny Speeds with Draken, Chauzy, Spook, and Rolf. So I honestly thought he was over there, but I guess he is coming back. And now you have a System5 roster who on Ikla didn't do too much. You've got like the main of them, and then 8X, who was on the Gucci Gaming Academy team, and like previously he didn't really stay on Ikla for that long. He was only really on them for the closed qualifier for the RMR, and like they did do well in making the closed qualifier. But Ikla was a team that I saw the names. When they were being built, they trialed like half of Europe, I'm pretty sure, and they came out with a very strong roster, but haven't really done anything. Their statistics are low. They weren't making very high placements, and they have survived through relegation last season to make it through to this is a challenger. And this is a big stage for them that they have to start to perform. And they've got a group with a PERA that's not amazing, Monty with roster changes, and a strong sword. They could be making at least top 2, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I think for both of these teams, there's definitely like a something to prove factor coming into this one. For System5, recently been released from Ikla. They had a really lackluster performance at the RMR. For PERA, again, that really through the national championship, and then unfortunately again a really rough performance at LAN. So this is a bit of a redemption arc for both of these two teams. We can go ahead and take a look at our veto for the day, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what these two teams are going to be throwing out at us today. We saw some particular maps that were quite popular over the course of the last 2 months, and oh, well, there's no Ancient. I do see an Anubis Decider, so call me biased. I'm really hoping for a map 3. But we're going to kick things off with Vertigo and Mirage, Freddie. What do you make of that?
I have no idea. What? Okay, so System5 have obviously changed their Instaban. That really threw me off. So their Instaban Moz Mirage. PERA are actually pretty good on Mirage, and they utilize that quite heavily, making it to the RMR and also Pro League, beating Guild, Eyeballers, Sync, Anonymo. Like, it's a map they are pretty good at. So to see your team to see your opponents who used to insta-ban that map now change it over to Ancient, you're there, you're licking your lips. And the reason why I'm kind of surprised by an Ancient is, yeah, sure, PERA are really good on Ancient, but System5 are really good on Ancient. So that means as a team decision, they have taken away potentially one of their best maps, which is quite a big shock. So that's just the one isolated pick of Mirage. We head over to something like Vertigo, and this is again something that we haven't seen much on System5. At least for PERA, it's not one of their better maps, so it could at least be an opportunity for System5 to take something from away from PERA. I think we actually saw PERA lose on Vertigo, if I'm not mistaken, and then finally it was Anubis, which both teams are quite capable of. So if we do go to that third map, it's going to be a bloodbath, but I'm really not too sure what's going to happen as Mirage, that second map, and for PERA, yeah, sure, they're not great on Vertigo, but at least they had that practice. Like, they practiced it at the RMR, they played the RMR, they could at least be ready for it. And Anubis as well was actually beaten 13-4. PERA won at 13-4 last time these two teams played against each other, which was in the RMR circuit.
Yeah, so for a little bit of history, for those that aren't aware, these two teams have played against one another twice before, both in a best-of-1 format. And the first time was on Ancient. It was 13-8 in favor of ICLA. The second time around, as Freddie mentioned, 13-4 on Anubis in favor of PERA. So very back and forth here. It really does feel like either of these two teams could walk away with the W. And also just looking, like you were saying, at some of their stats, neither of these two teams play a hell of a lot of Vertigo. PERA's played it a couple times and has absolutely had no luck on it. But again, I think that comes down to the teams they were playing against. So it's very difficult to draw any real conclusions from that. Mirage has been looking really, really solid for them. So I'm a little bit worried about this veto, but we won't know until we jump into it. However, that doesn't mean we don't have opinions. So tell me, Freddie, in your opinion, who's winning this series?
Well, we spoke about this beforehand, so I'm kind of just throwing the curveball. Screw it. ICLA, we're going for System5. We're going for these guys. I like every individual on that roster, and we just haven't seen anything from them. So I really hope they've taken this kind of the low season and like leaving the organization, putting the hours in, and PERA maybe still feeling a little bit down in the dumps after the RMR, and they take capitalization from that.
Well, I've got a little bit of an experience bias, and by that I mean I've casted PERA before, I've seen what they're capable of, and on paper, I think that they should have this one in the bag. So I'm going to be tossing my vote in favor of them, but I do like a little bit of spice here on our desk as we head into this. So chat, why don't you tell us who you think is going to win out in this matchup? While we wait, so get those votes in. We are just waiting for everything to get sorted out, so we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and when we return, we're kicking things off with map 1. And we are back. Yes, we are. We did not discuss who was going to bring us back, so that was fun. Some slight technical issues, but hopefully we've got that sorted out. Vertigo. How are we feeling about Vertigo? Oh, Freddy is currently muted on vMix. Technical issues abound,
I think, yeah,
folks.
technical issues. And now it's okay. I think Vertigo is going to be interesting. Just as I said, we haven't seen System5 play it what's really like at all recently. So I think that adds a lot more to develop. We haven't seen them play it in like months really, in the last like 4 months, and when they did play it, they didn't play very well. So it's going to be very interesting to see them do like match up on that, because we really have no idea what we're going to see from them on both Mirage and on Vertigo. So these first 2 maps are just going to be a feast full of surprises for the for us as we're watching.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what System5 are going to be doing. You know, when you come into a map that people aren't familiar with seeing you on, you do have that slight advantage in that, you know, you've got a little bit of an element of surprise, and you could do something that really, you know, shows up other teams. Maybe you've stratted something new and innovative, but at the same time, it could also mean that you're just really not comfortable on that map, and it's going to be a disaster. It really is like a box of chocolates. You're not 100% sure what you're going to get. So hopefully we get a System5 that has, well, systemized and is locked in and ready to go here for Vertigo. As many people know that watch me cast, I am not a fan of this map in general. I feel like it can be launched into the sun, but I have noticed that it has gained a lot of popularity, more so than usual. I think we saw a lot of Vertigo over the last couple of months. So you know what? It's starting to grow on me ever so slowly. I'm starting to see some of the shining points of this map.
Yeah, I think it's a really, I quite like it. I think it's a good map. I think I like the hectic, the chaos, and there's also a lot of like the in-depth you can have with like your second, or like someone who's definitely a mid-round caller, who's like either the third player going towards A, second B, or second mid, like having him decide where they want to go, and controlling a lot of the T side mid rounds is really fun to watch and really fun to see where they take them. But yeah, no, it's gonna be really interesting. I think for PERA, there's obviously a lot of question marks over their head, so it's gonna be really exciting to see if they can answer some of those. And for System5, it's pretty much just an unknown. Like no one really knows what's happening.
I think it's a very, very high skill ceiling map, right? Like you're talking about the mid-round calls, and that's such an like integral part of this map because of the really unique design compared to any other map. It really does require you to be able to think on your feet, to be able to adapt to high pressure situations, losing a player early, or whatever the case is, right? You need to be able to adapt on the fly. But here we are. We're going to kick things off, guys. It is ESL Challenger League 47 Europe Day 1 Group A. It's PERA versus System5. Let's get into the action.
We're in the 9th round. I would have thought they would have. I was, yeah, they do. Okay, so they do get to choose their side. I thought, yeah, because PERA, it's not their map pick, so they would, yeah, okay, so they get to choose which side they want to start on. And yeah, let's get it. System5, this is their map pick. As we've said, we haven't seen this team much played on this map. And it will, actually, no, it will be the Kirill, Chill, Patrick, Python, Keen team. I was not anticipating that.
Yep, that definitely comes as a surprise to me as well. But here we go. We'll jump straight into it because, well, work with what you're given. And instantly we're going to see a lot of pressure, a lot of aggression over towards ramp. Be checking out sandbags, make sure nobody peeks their head over the top there. Use a little bit of util to try and flush. The rotations have immediately come through from PERA.
Yeah, it seems like, well, maybe it seems like the Prodigy's team, but Aaron with a nice grenade here. As soon as the bomb does get tapped, he's going to be throwing that, and that's going to do a lot of damage. A second one comes in, and the bomb shall get denied, but Patrick still does... No, the bomb gets planted, and Patrick's alive, but a lot of damage has been inflicted to that T side.
Not quite enough. Bomb does get planted. 3 versus 2 here for the T. System5 slowly whittling away. Aaron 6 HP and a dream here. The USPS needs to ring through, but he can't make it happen. A nice hold here from System5. Net themselves the first round. Bomb down. A lot of extra cash to play with.
Yeah, it definitely could have gone wrong when you have those grenades being propelled in. If they had done more damage and actually gotten a kill, that would have been a really key man advantage that PERA could have worked off from. But with the pistol round being taken quite cleanly, overall, System5, they'll be purchasing themselves back in, and the City side will be choosing to eco, choosing just to elect to have that second gun round, the first gun round in the third round.
It looks like a nice aggressive push here from PERA out of B. Oh man, Patrick's waiting for it. They know there's going to be some sort of an aggressive shenanigan. Patrick's good for 2. It's going to have to fall off straight through the Molotov. Will get sprayed down. Camion good for 1. And it'll at least do a little bit of damage, but it doesn't mean much if they can't recover the gun. It looks like they're just going to get pigeonholed here as Python pushes in, finishes it up. 2 kills for him, and it's a quick and clean round for System5.
Yeah, very easy and anticipated. Patrick with a nice 3k. All things considered, that's just very easy for them. But now here comes the real test. Here comes the A1Ss. They've got full utility, mostly full utility. I would have liked to see maybe 1 or 2 for Masters being bulked up so they can just prioritize some of that econ and some of that util. But big round for PERA if they can see if they can get themselves on the board.
Looking to see what damage can be done with this MAC-10. I was a big fan of that. Looking to see some aggression come through here, but PERA instantly maybe smoking off ramp. Trying to stem the tide a little bit. This time around, however, System going to edge their way over towards the B site, making a ton of noise over towards ramp, trying to draw those rotations. It looked like it was working, but Camion expecting, waiting for that opportunity. Instantly traded out, however, but the B site is fully under control of System5. HP is low, though, and DGL just has to hold the line. Mollied out of his position, straight down onto the site, swings through and is taken out. And now, as PERA attempt to retake onto the site, they have managed to bring it down to the 2 versus 2, and the bomb will get planted.
It's going to be a very difficult retake for both Poyer and Aaron, considering that one of them's 18 HP and they have no kit between them. Chill, getting very aggressive. He's hiding in the smoke just below Heaven, and as soon as Keen takes the first contact, they're never going to expect Chill to be here. First, in his crosshair, he strikes, and now it's just Poyer all by himself. 18 HP, as I'd mentioned before, and this should be an easy one for Keen. They both swing out, and as anticipated, Keen will take the third round and keep flawless for System 5.
Well, incredibly expensive round for System5, however. Had to lose a lot of weapons to make that one work out for them, but it's worth it in the end because they've put a massive dent into PERA's economy, and they themselves are still able to buy up pretty damn healthily into this round. A quick anti-eco under their belt, and they'll be absolutely singing into the next few rounds. We're staring down the barrel of a fourth, with PERA only having an MP9 to give them a little bit of extra firepower. See if they can make that sing. Again, taking some slightly more aggressive angles here. Hoping to bait out a little bit of information. DGL does spot one out, so he's going to fall back. He's going to give that information across. It is looking like a mid-push.
Yeah, unless the Deagles strike here and instantly connect their shots, it's going to be looking like a pretty rough round, especially with Kree closing the angles and Python as well at range. Only one player remaining on that B-bomb site, and as MSN falls, it's just going to be leaving Aaron all by himself in CT. I think they have a pretty good understanding of where he is, and the flawless streak will continue, and they're also doing so pretty cleanly. Especially as it was a 1 versus 1 in the first gun round, you need to be maintaining the your players, especially when the opponents don't have much money, and that's exactly what they do.
Ooh, but the AWP is already on board here for DGL. And this was something that I had kind of pointed out a little bit earlier on. Someone definitely to look out for. Someone that can really do a ton of damage with that weapon in his hands. Hasn't even gone the glass cannon route. Full armor as well. So feeling comfortable. A little bit lighter on the util. But if he can make that AWP work for him, it's not going to be the biggest issue in the world. Instantly pushed off of his aggressive position, however. He's going to have to hold a little bit further back as the flood of util comes through. Just to slow System5 down a little bit. They have been pretty hot on the execute so far, so if PERA can buy a little bit of time, they might have a better chance of survival.
Bouncing bullets there in the smoke. Patrick, I thought he was a dead man from Aaron's spam, but he does survive. And then as soon as Aaron falls back, Patrick takes full capitalization of that. Now we see the rotations coming over towards this A-bomb site. MSN will come and join his teammates, and DGL with his AWP currently smoked off towards Gap will be looking to try and see if he can forward himself with some picks. But in the meantime, it is opposition's AWP that beats him to it.
And that's heavy man advantage now for System5 off the back of that second kill. Gonna have to heavily reinforce this A site somehow. DGL looking to get a kill, but is taken out by Keen. Now Camion, last player left alive, and you gotta wonder, surely it's just a save. There's no reason to push this. It's a flawless round for System5, and honestly, with the money the way that it is, an extra gun in the back pocket would be nice for the next round.
Yeah, it'd mean they'd have nothing, and well, like if they didn't, they'd have nothing. So at least they do have something to work off. But a really good round. Keen double or entry with the AWP. Honestly, what more do you want? Like he gets the first kill on site, gets the second kill on Gap, completely negates DGL, who could have torn. Like he could have done something. He could have made a difference in that round. But Keen initiates himself a little bit earlier, and that's gonna be the difference maker as well. Patrick not being spammed through the smoke at the beginning of the round. Because he doesn't, he goes on and also pretty much single-handedly wins the round with the double entry on site.
Oh, attempt to hunt down Camion, but he does manage to survive, take away one of their guns, and hold on to his gun, which is, of course, a crucial point in that one. It's not the end of the world that he takes away a gun, but being able to keep his into the next makes a big difference. So now we're going to see that tac pause come out, and I think a lot needs to be discussed here for PERA, because honestly, System5 seem to just be running circles around them. Seems like they're just winning those 1v1s, and it's an issue because PERA just keep giving them the 1v1s round after round. There's been very little coordinated angle holding or coordinated swings. It's just been very much kind of somebody's going to peek out and they're going to lose that duel. And I keep wanting to call them System of a Down. System5 keep winning those battles.
What was that reference? System of what?
A down?
Am I
Oh, Freddy.
Wait, should I know this?
Chat, please lambast Freddy. Please. All
System
of
of the
you just...
Down.
System of a Down. It's a band. Chop Suey.
You speaking
Toxicity.
English?
Oh.
System
Bro's googling System of
of
a
the
Down. Ah.
Down.
Chat, am I old? Production, help me out here. You know System of a Down, right?
The thing is, I actually listened to 90s and 80s rock, so I'm surprised I don't know these guys. Okay.
You know what?
Well, now
if
you've
you
just
heard...
outed me in front of everyone.
if you heard the song, you would 100% recognize it. Like,
Okay,
so don't even
so
stress.
you have outed me in front of everyone. Thank you so much.
You outed yourself, bro. All you had to do was go, yes, of course. Anyway, but
Well,
no,
no,
you
but I
went
was
System of a what now?
I like to own up for my mistakes.
So you like to out yourself.
Yeah, I like to just say, you know what? Hey, this is okay, I see your point. But looking like the game is going to be getting started, so we can stop bullying Freddy for once. And
Honestly, that
System
was such a
5 looking
perfectly
pretty...
well-timed match pause. Like, chef's
Match
kiss.
pause, let's make fun of Freddy, game back on. Yeah, here we go. It's not... PERA just come off of a very disappointing gun round, but they do at least have that saved A1S from Camion, and it's just going to be pistols accompanying him. DGL full saving for that AWP, just so we can bring in a little bit more util than just a flashbang into the next.
This rifle for Camion's gonna have to go absolutely hard. See if you can find a little bit of value with it. Not positioned right the minute to get much done. Seeing a little bit of pressure across the board here again. We're seeing cross-map pressure just to draw out rotations, just to bait out some information. It looks like System might actually look to rotate across themselves here, seeing that they found a bit of an opening. Start making their way over towards this B side. They've pulled so much attention towards mid to A, and now the B side's completely free and clear.
Yeah, well, I think it's the first time on... Oh wait, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say it's the first time on a gun round, but no, they literally went B 2 rounds ago. But yeah, really good utility down. It's gonna allow a clear pathway onto this bomb site, and there's honestly nothing really PERA can do. Like, there is a fast flanker Poya, but he had to at least get one there. He does put another player down low, so... Hold on a second, I might retract my words, because 2 players, 1 HP, 1 has been eliminated. This is looking quite, at least probable, but a flank on a flank, Chill pops his head up from the A bomb site, and everyone's going, Aaron, how's that happen? Because you're supposed to be over on that side of the map. He will at least get his revenge, and now we're back into a very messy 2 versus 2.
And Camion's rifle does indeed go hard, getting 2 kills on the site as well. A nice little pinch to come through from PERA. Time, however, is ticking away. Aaron does not have a kit.
Oh,
So
DGL DC'd.
Oh, you are correct. He did. Oh, that's rough.
I was really confused. Okay, yeah, I was seeing him on the map just not move, and it really confused me, but that does make sense.
It's a rough one for PERA. I mean, they do really well considering one of their players disconnected, but unfortunately, it's not gonna get them the round win. So they're gonna try and get that sorted out, guys. So you're back stuck with us. It's back to bullying Freddy now. So
back to bullying Freddy. Yeah. Okay. Maybe let's not do that. You know, like let's not do that. I've had a long weekend. I've been at Epic LAN, but no. Who we could bully potentially is PERA, because they're having a pretty rough start to their opponent's map pick. And maybe my prediction is going is actually I was kind of trolling a little bit with my prediction. I was like, you're going PERA, I'm gonna go System5 then, and maybe I'm coming out on top there.
You might just be. It does help that it was an entirely different roster.
Yeah.
But you know what, we'll brush that one aside for now, as PERA will get themselves the opening kill here in the round, followed up nicely by Poya. No, Aaron!
Oh no!
I
oh
love
no!
that we had that in his POV. That's magical. Just was done with this. You know what? He was like, you know what? We're gonna bring this back. We're just gonna give him a handicap. We you know, do it for the content. But it is still full v3 here in favor of PERA. System shaking themselves up from that one. Must have been just as surprised as we were. But now it looks like they are going to make this A execute.
Yeah, that is incredibly rough. I'm not sure how that's happened now. But there's still a chance that the CT side could still win this. I mean, they do have the man advantage still. Now make it 2. The bomb, I actually think it's going to be advantage, especially with Poya getting very aggressive with his AWP towards Gap. That's actually his downfall. These over-aggressions from both Poya and Camion now has put it into an even Stevens 2 vs 2, and MSN has been forced to relocate because that Molotov and flashbang and smoke is just making him so uncomfortable. And what? How has Keen seen him? Behind the Molotov, normally so hard to visualize that. It's just DGL.
DGL with an AWP as well. Not the best for a retake scenario. Might have been better off if he'd found a rifle there. Might have been better off if Aaron hadn't fallen off the map. You know, who's to say, really?
I don't even know. I don't even, like, ironically enough, I don't even know if Aaron's to blame there.
Like, no, I mean, definitely not.
Well, like, obviously, like, him falling off, tragic, awful, really bad. But the fact that both Poya and Camion solo peak 2 different angles at once, that's actually that's actually the thing that's worse.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of egregious things happening in that round, to be fair. I also see DGL still, I think he might have DC'd again. PERA just having a really rough time of it at the moment. I think they might be having some like tech issues. So possibly this might be contributing to what's happening right now. Like you can see there's a tech timeout, but the timer is not ticking away at all. I think the match has paused again as they try and sort out these tech issues. So apologies for that. But I will take this moment to say that chat, no System of a Down. And I don't feel old anymore, so...
Oh wait, am I being bullied in chat now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sick. Freddie L. Okay, that's lovely. Carson Noob doesn't know Sister of a Down on Real. Freddie, it's a band. I'm actually just being sick. Freddie's not old enough. I mean, yeah, I am 20. Like, I am a child. But I just not listened to 90 Days Rock and never heard of System of a Down. Christ, okay. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna sit here in silence.
Oh, bless. No, wake up. Grab a brush and put a little.
I listen. I like a little punk. I don't know if like Clash completely fit in punk genre, but I love the Clash.
Bro just completely missed the reference. It's all good, chat. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Can I just DC?
Time ticking away now on the timeout. So hopefully that means we will be getting back into game very, very shortly. DGL still listed as dead, which could, to be fair, it could be a UI bug. Hopefully that is the case, because I do see him standing there.
Is he standing?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
But he's dead.
I don't know. I think it's just a UI bug. I think the reason that you're now seeing our faces is because the UI is being refreshed. So wake up, Freddy.
Hello, sorry. I was like, okay, I'm back now. That's all that matters. But yeah, no, DGL with some bugs. And he was like, that last round was actually really poor from PERA. Like, obviously Aaron falling off was really unideal, but the fact that they had that 4 vs 2 and it gets crumbled away just through their own volition is really disappointing.
Well, Aaron makes up for his previous transgression by getting the opening kill of the round, followed up quite nicely. Oh yeah, beautiful little 2K from him and System. Suddenly falling apart here. Only 2 players left alive. They're going to try and execute in onto the A side. Go check the close angle. It's only the AWP left. Camion shuts it down. What a weird round. Where was this PERA for the last 7 rounds?
Yeah, where's that come from? Why have we just seen like a floor round out of PERA when it's taken so long for us to even get like what? Yeah, they've had such a troubling time and then out of nowhere just pull out the best round they possibly could have. And now the momentum has shifted. However, it's taken a little bit long. The only max they can get is 5 rounds on the CT side. And I think System5 will be looking to exceed their 7 right now.
Well, at least 1 on the board here is a good start in the mid. Only a few rounds left in this half, and if they can string them all together, they're looking pretty good for the second half. So for now, System slowed things down quite nicely. Had a good few fakes out of them earlier. They've left bomb, so they haven't committed just yet. Nice little default. See if they can get some early information. Aaron again with the first kill. DGL to follow up. Gets a second. Cannot get a third. Will eventually be pushed off. Koya will try to avenge him. Python, just that much better. However, stuck in a 1 versus 3, everything to do. Bomb is lost. Not lost, I mean, it's where they left it, but they just left it there. He will be able to recover it, but it's now Python against the world.
Yeah, the Frenchman's actually in a legitimately decent position. This was I think, 2 versus 5 in general, but he's bringing it down. It may as well be in a 1 versus 5. He's already claimed 3 of these frags. He's on 36 HP, so he can at least tank 1 bullet from the AK to the chest if needs be. But going towards the B bomb site is potentially the worst thing you can do here. There's a close rotation in middle from Camion. MSN chilling around default. They also have Util. I really don't see how Python can win this. He's just going to have to hit these instant headshots and then anticipate the close mid player. And now he's being spotted out. Now we're going to see Camion coming over. That Util I mentioned will be putting down. Python is funneled towards one way, but he still hits the headshot. Now up against Camion. He's going to be spending his Util of his own, forcing Camion out of position. He'll be heard. Python in the 1 versus 1. From a 1 versus 5 to a 1 versus 1. Nade down. Camion low, but Camion brings it down to normality. And System5, unfortunately, the heroics do not prevail.
And that was damn close as well. Python would have needed an ace to win out that round. He had 4, but he couldn't get the 5th. A solid attempt from him there, but this is where things start to look a little bit dicey for System5. They are going to reinvest into the AWP. That means that Kree is going to be running with the Mac 10 this time around. So it's a bit of a gamble, but if it pays off, then it will mean everything, as PERA is on the knife's edge economically. 1 round win could decimate them, but Keen getting a little too keen. Gonna get chunked away slowly at bottom ramp there. Now PERA showing some aggression of their own, looking to push System back and deny them any space.
Yeah, but unfortunately it didn't. It faded away at the very end, and System5 just completely slowing it down. Aaron boosted up on the left side, MSM jiggling around gap. This is a really nice on the CT side right now. They have a fast rotation from DGL. If System5 continue up on this A bomb side, I don't think it's going to look too good for them, but Aaron just has to hold true on that boost.
He's gonna get paranoid. It's gonna happen. He's gonna jump down. Oh, it feels like they've got a bit of a sixth sense around it. He doesn't jump down, but he doesn't get the kill. A little bit of damage onto Kree and a nice little bit of nade to follow up. That's gonna force them off of that boost. It doesn't get the kill, but it does a little bit of damage, and that could be just the opening that they need. Now Patrick, the tip of the spear all the way up ramp, as MSN will take down Kree. Oh, and it's just an absolute bloodbath here towards this A site. They haven't been able to crack in just yet, but they do bring it down to even numbers. Good little bit of util to keep PERA off the site. Spams through the smoke, but not quite connecting, but it's Chi who will be able to get to, followed up nicely by Patrick. And once again, another round on board for System5.
Yeah, what a really bold play from Chill. Jumps up on default in that 3 versus 3. That was definitely not what I was anticipating. I thought that was, it's a play where high risk, high reward, and he comes out on the latter stage. A really bizarre round where Aaron most definitely should have been getting that instant opener, especially when he was boosted up. So much damage across the board, and then Python switching places with his opponent on gap through the smoke. It was a crazy round, but weirdly enough, System5 come out with 3 players alive somehow. Like, I don't understand how they come out of that in a pretty position, and it seems there's been another disconnect. We've got 2 Keens on the server.
Oh no! I mean, these 2 teams are seriously going through it today, and honestly, I think chat might have had it up to here with our shenanigans at this point. So that's a bit rough. I don't know how to fill time without having shenanigans.
Fill time. All right. Okay, well, UKCS? Kappa? Well, we were in the UK recently.
You mean the region that PERA beat to get to the LAN? You mean that UK?
Wait, did they?
Didn't they beat Viperia?
I don't think Viperia got that far, I'll be honest.
I mean, that amounts to the same thing, really.
Oh, in the NC qualifier. Oh, well,
yeah. I meant NC.
I mean, yeah, like, Sure. They weren't at Epic Land though. But yeah, I had Epic Land this
Fair.
weekend. Just got back from that. Smooya and his team won, and I got a yeah. There was a bit of controversy around that, but I got a great photo of Smooya with his middle finger up to the opponents on stage. He loves a BM.
Yes, yes, he does. That's Muya. He was actually
Yeah.
on one of the teams. Like the first CS event that I ever worked was a DreamHack, and that was when he was still on Fnatic. So he was one of the first like
Oh
CS
God, that
players.
fanatic.
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah, way back in day. That's a hot minute
Yeah,
ago.
that not a fanatic that we choose to remember.
Yes, well,
I
I've also
mean,
just given
now
away
that
how like
yeah.
briefly I've been in the scene so far, but that's okay. We're in it for the long haul, chat.
I think what was my I think mine was some like there's a team that really stands out to me, and it was Choi was calling for them, I think. One of it was oh maybe it was, I think I can't remember what, but it was like some Serbian team. I think I remember them being quite good. It was but yeah, I can't even I started the UK scene, so and UK like the UK was it like the teams you know they switch around every 2 seconds, so it's quite hard to keep up with which roster did I commentate first from UK Counter Strike.
Oh well. We do have a few more technical issues, guys, so it is us once again, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get this resolved. Otherwise, if this goes 3 maps, it's going to be a long night, Freddy. I love CS as much as the next person. I will say, so there is another esports that had a like a regional event recently, and they had a tech pause for, I kid you not, 6 hours before the first round was played. So you know what? I'm good with this. We're already back into the action, and it's Kree opening things up with the first kill of the round.
Uh, Um, and PERA, they're buying into this. They didn't save any rifles in the last round. They just won 2 in a row. The money's not ideal, as we can see from the MP9s or no utility. There's 2 more rounds in the half, and they're going for a boost this time on the right side. The issue is if they walk on gap, Chill completely off guard. That's exactly what's going to happen. Aaron, at least falling down, will be able to trade out his opponent, but he's completely isolated on this A bomb site. Rotations will be coming in, and he doesn't even need them.
Interesting little dry swing there, but it is 3 versus 3 now as PERA look to reinforce this site. System5 making a lot of noise here, so it is looking like this is where the push is going to be, but keep an eye here over on the B site. Kree could be going in for a nice little pincer here, and it does feel like PERA have potentially predicted that, so they're going to look to reinforce that as well. And still nothing yet decided. 40 seconds left to make a commitment. Air in the spot is disgusting. Beautiful kill from him. He was waiting for that flank to come through. He shuts it down. And now System, only 2 players left. They know that there's only 2 players left on the site. Yeah, Patrick is good for 1. He needs to get the bomb down as quickly as possible. Keen has to watch his 6, or I suppose his 1 o'clock. But the bomb does go down. And now they have to hold the line.
Nice smoke on the left side. It's not going to give Patrick any visuals for MSN exiting connector, and Aaron spams him through the smoke. What a round from Aaron. Aaron just destroys them all. He gets 2 kills over towards ramp early on. He then rotates over towards middle, gets a kill on the B lurk, and then swoops back in, and is able to snatch up his 4th frag. Aaron has just been so mobile and is single-handedly won them the round. The IGL leading by example.
It's home in time for dinner, man. You know? Go out, quick pop out, get back, and make sure you can help clean up the round. Very much making up for his earlier mishap. And now it's System5, whose money is in a little bit of a tight spot. Going into the last round of the half here. It has to be a force, and it is busted. 2 MAC-10s, Galil, AK, Deagle, a smattering of utility. It's looking like PERA are very likely to pick up this 4th round, but Kree gonna be running straight up the ramp here, waiting for the aggression from PERA, and PERA are not having it. They're not gonna be aggressive this time. They know it's a broken buy. They know that they can hold back a little bit and just wait until System walk into their crosshairs. They can take these battles. They just need to be patient.
Yeah, and MSN playing this site well. He's all by himself. He doesn't want to single-handedly go and just lose these kills. So he's going to back out, and they're going to utilize their utility and just going to be dumping Molotovs, dumping nades on default. They're not there through the smokes, but they're going to be just putting so much pressure on System5. And now, as we see the bomb going down, the T-side have no util, and PERA have so much to work with.
They've allowed the bomb to go down for free, but they're seriously not concerned with that whatsoever. A few flashes to give them an in is all they're really going to need. But they're going to have to get the go. There you go. A nice little spam through the smoke. MSN good for the first. Oh, swings out instantly as his head blown off. And honestly, they've given over so many kills, but it's DGL who will get the last kill of the round. A little bit close for comfort there. Kit in hand. And it's going to be close, but it's going to be clean. And that's going to be the 4th round on the board for PERA Esports. We'll see you in just a moment.
And welcome back into it. 8-4 is the half for System 8. System 5, they got 8 rounds, they're not System 8. I would have thought they would have done a little bit better. I think they could have extended their 8 rounds considering they had such a dominant lead going 7-0. And even in that final round, PERA were taking so long on that retake, but we get back into the fray, we get back into the action, and Aaron has a full belt of utility, but he needs to be able to utilize that utility because his teammate has just been absolutely owned towards the A-bomb site.
I love that. Cheeky little peek out, headshot, and off you pop back to your team. Instantly, man advantage for System 5 here. Looking comfortable and confident. But it is still very early on in the round. PERA going to start sneaking their way up towards A here, making as little sound as possible. Now, some of the util will come out, try and deny some of those sight lines, get MSN into a good position here. He doesn't get spotted, but he cannot connect the shots properly. Finally, he will get one, but is instantly traded off as the Deagles, or rather the Dualies, will sing. Aaron, last player left alive. And so much to do. Already good for 2. Was such a standout player in the previous round. Had some fantastic moments. But this is going to be the clutch of a lifetime. Maybe not a lifetime, but it'll be a pretty big one as he does get the first. He's able to steal away the USBS. Tosses out the Molotov. And is now going to rotate around Keen. Has he clocked this? Footsteps heard. Aaron, will you check the left side? No, you won't. And Keen will clutch the round.
Okay, yeah, a great round from Aaron. He's tried really well there. I think very impressive in that 1 versus 2 and just getting a 3K in the round in general. But especially when you're losing your opening pick pretty much within the first 10 seconds when you're supposed to be playing slow. I do feel bad for Poya. I feel like he got absolutely just destroyed very early on. But the fact that Chill was able to survive for so long, Poya did assist him. And that smoke they put down at the front of the site did so much work. And just very nice reposition from Keen in that 1 versus 1. Very well played. That's both pistol rounds being lost on Vertigo here for PERA, and it's reflected in their scoreline.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the uphill battle for them to come back into this one. The system looking to take a little bit of a runaway here. Bomb denial as well means that there isn't a ton of cash to work with, and yet they've still bought into that AK. High risk, potentially high reward here. It's going to have to make some absolute magic, but for now it's just a slow hold, waiting to see if somebody gets overly aggressive. System5 have done that. They have pushed out aggressively in the past, and it has worked out for them. Spots the Mac 10 player. The shots don't connect. So they're going to trade places. See if this rifle can connect, and it does. And that could be a free upgrade if they're brave enough, but no. They're not going to go for that. Instead, they're going to back out. They're going to try and draw those rotations and completely change up. Head back somewhere else as Camion will get decimated over towards stairs. 3 players left. But they know it's not B. It's not mid. It's got to be headed back towards... Oh, no. They're turning back around. Back towards B.
What's Keen? Okay, so Keen was clearing out the B bomb site, but seemed to be getting quite muddled. And that just opened up a great pathway onto this B bomb site for the PERA squad. Kree getting blinded, doing so much damage, but has at least taken attention away from Python, who has that A1S. Both Poya and DGL, 30 HP combined. It's going to be easy for the Frenchman. A 4 spy, gone nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, they do a bit of economic damage, which I think is the most you can hope for, except that they did buy that AK. They really would have wanted a lot more out of that, at the very least a bomb plant. Like, to invest that much into it and to come away with nothing but a few eco frags, it's just not worth it. And System5, they're going to reinvest into this. They don't care. Sure, it's 2 MP9s, but they know that they're going to have a massive advantage off the back of PERA choosing to force into that. So they're going to be feeling comfortable. They've just hit those double digits, closer and closer to map point here, and PERA has to make magic happen with these pistols.
Yeah, it's getting quite late on in this game, and from talking to, I think like when I was at Epic, what is really key is talking to a lot of players and visualizing how important these early few rounds are. I feel like momentum and like the first 8 or 7 rounds is the most important of CS2 right now, especially with CT side economy, because PERA were unable to build that economy. It was really difficult for them, but they could at least put System5 in a position where they don't have any economy, because yeah, this round winning it might be a little bit difficult, but with 2 kills already, System5 don't want to be losing any more players, and Patrick the Aggressive seems to not really care about it. And yeah, 2 players staying alive at a minimum right now is really poor for System5. But Aaron, with armor and now a rifle picked up, might be trying to actually win this, but he gets double peeked.
Funnily enough, that it's all of the rifle players, all of the M4 players that end up dying. They do manage to, the last couple of MP9 players do manage to upgrade into some of those heavier rifles at the very least at the end of the round. But yeah, I mean, keeping it so messy and so incredibly close is not good for that long-term econ. However, there isn't much long-term left if they carry on the way that they are. Losing this round would not be great for them if it's a particularly expensive one. But if they win this, they probably win the whole damn series. As PERA have brought themselves into a full buy here. DGL kicking things off with a nice clean opener, punishing that aggression that System5 have been so keen with. And that gives them that man advantage to play off of.
Yeah, big man advantage. But now they got to make sure they don't throw us away. MSN is doing well that he's not going out middle there. I like that double stack in middle. Would have definitely caught him off guard if he crept around that corner. And for System5, where'd you go from this? You have no info anywhere around the map. You're playing a very heavy retake A right now with Python left there with the AWP. And with a minute left on the clock, it does seem like PERA are going to be heading towards that bomb site. But what they could be in for some trouble is this flank from Patrick as he's going down ladder right now. Or Chill, rather. Chill's going T-spawn, yeah.
Python's just going to hold this angle.
Oh, they missed smoke.
Oh. That's not going to bode too well for them.
They've got no smoke for the left side of site, so this is going to be... They're going to be able to replenish it, but it's taking so long. And now we're going to be able to see the flank come through, but Chill gets caught off guard.
And now it's a two-player advantage here for PERA. System5, I mean, they have no idea. They're going to keep holding this line. Meanwhile, PERA start the rotation across. Aaron, the lurk is deep and meaningful, getting that first kill. He knows there's another player there. If he can just keep that person occupied a little bit longer as the rest of his team have made their way on towards that B site. Bomb gets planted. 5v1 Python. Surely you just save the AWP at this point.
Yeah, like that was a really actually decent round for System5, especially they had the full read that it was the A bomb site. They had Chill on the flank. There was a missed smoke by PERA, so it slowed them down. But I think because they slowed down that much, they were anticipating the flank from Chill just that one little bit more. And now we see Python all by himself trying to save this AWP. He's being hunted down. He's got 4 HP. I think he would have died to the bomb there anyways, but Boy will put a bullet in his head just for safekeepings.
The fact that he's able to get 2 there is pretty nuts just in and of
quite
itself.
Impressive, yeah, quite impressive.
Yeah, unfortunately, not too much more to get done from that, and does lose the AWP. Not going to be allowed to keep that one. It's a free gun for PERA. They'll be very happy with that round, but they have to replicate that, and they have to do that a few times. There's quite the deficit here for them, but winning that round is the big important potential shifter or momentum swinger, because as we said, System's money was absolutely busted by the end of that last round, and losing it meant that they have nothing into this. And again, the aggression. DGL will get the first, but it's instantly traded. He'll just follow it up with a second. He says, peek me again. Let me get another kill.
This is the first time, I think, in this game I'm starting to see DGL just initiate himself a little bit more. I feel like he hasn't really been that much of a presence on the server, and especially when he was on the CT side being overshadowed by Keen. I remember on the first gun round, Keen just swings in with an AWP and he wins that duel very easily. But now DGL is looking to play his own game, and yes, PERA, they are very far away, especially considering that they didn't win the pistol round, and they lost 3 in a row because of that. They are so far behind, but if they're going to continue playing like this, then it's just a steady uphill battle. And I feel like this is round 17 is most definitely going to go in their favor. If I'm Patrick and Python, I'm 100% looking to save these weapons, just so they can at least bring something into the next eco round, have a little bit of danger around them. And for PERA, I just liked right now, they were being very methodical on that bomb site. They put down the utility. They didn't overextend, overreach with that confidence they might have in this 4 vs 2, and they're just going to take the round and see if they can keep as many players alive right now. But with Poya and MSN both low, especially Poya, I don't know if especially MSN, I don't know if he's actually going to be able to survive this at all. I think he's just going to accept fate.
Well, sometimes you just kind of have to. You can see Python is positioned to potentially get a couple of exits if he can. Patrick doesn't have too much to write home about, but hey, every little bit counts. And oh, there's the exit. Can't make it a second, unfortunately. Would have been great if he could have snagged himself one of those rifles to walk away with. And to be fair, Will be MSN going down there. We did say he was low HP, so to be expected. PERA finally clawing their way back into this map. Still 5 rounds just to even things out. But the economic damage that has been done to System 5, it's 2 rounds consecutively where they have near nothing to work with. And Keen is still going to buy into the AWP.
I don't hate this if he survives. Like, at least if he's able to maintain that AWP
if.
in the next round. But, like, it's a big if, especially as or like, someone can bring in the next round. He's surrounded by his minions right now. They're all around with the USPs, Deagles, 5-7s. And he actually will get the opening pick here as Poyo swings into him. Spam is going to click a little bit, but he's going to get away pretty much stop 3. And it's going to be the Orps fighting it out, but both are still alive.
It could be the difference maker here as the Pistols hold a very, very tight... Oh! Nice little peek there from DGL. And get his second kill there as the smoke clears. The USPS is not quite able to connect meaningfully. And it's going to force System back from whence they came. AWP taken away. Python last left alive. Recovering that AWP is going to be impossible as he will get sprayed down. Unfortunately, the AWP was only good for 1. Could not be carried on into the next round. And it's another, yet again, for PERA. Now, the reason that wasn't the, I suppose, the single worst thing in the world is because it puts Keen on a fairly even kilt economically, but still in a really rough spot. So instead of this being the full buy that it could have been with far more utility, he's instead down onto the MP9. And once again, it's against a full, robust buy on PERA and an Aaron and DGL who have looked terrifying.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of all of that from Keen. Like an MP9 instead of an AWP, I don't really understand that. And System5 potentially throwing away their lead that they once had. And there's only 4 rounds between them. That's pretty much only 2 gun rounds in PERA. They're going to be attempting the first one here. It's going to be slow towards and the Cameo coming through. So the majority are here. And now with this first pick up against Chill, if Keen had an AWP here, he'd have so much more prowess around him. But with 35 HP and an MP9, I really do not see what System5 can do on this A-bomb side right now. I think this is PERA's round already.
A little bit of information gained there. Only 1 player left to anchor the site. They've sent Python over towards mid and left Keen all on his own. He's still going to be good for 1, however. A little bit of information garnered as well, but still such a high presence over towards the B bomb site. Keen goes down, and like you said, right, I suppose they just had already given up. They moved their rifles over towards B. They said, Keen, do what you can. If you can get a kill or 2, that'd be great. Otherwise, go next. And with the economy the way that it is, it makes a ton of sense. Quick and easy round for PERA. Only a 3-round deficit after this one.
Yeah, 3-round deficit in the next round. I really hope to God System5 just buy like a pistol on Chill and Keen. Like, don't go overreaching. You can still get damage done with these rifles, but don't don't throw away economy down the sink like you have been in these previous 2. Make sure you can get the AWP out for Keen. Drop him a 5-7. Maybe he can buy armor. Maybe he can't. But at least just don't, save up for the next. You still have that lead. Play for the next gun round. So PERA, they're probably going to be on like 9, System 11, and just play for that. Play for that round. Don't get too in your head, and just understand that you have this lead. You still have it. It's decreased, but just don't throw it away.
We'll see if they can make that happen. These last few rounds have been pretty decidedly System5 rounds. PERA have looked a little lost in the sauce. Sorry, not PERA. System5. PERA looked lost in the sauce in the first half. Second half, they've come back with an absolute vengeance. Took them a few rounds to find their stride, but now 4 in a row and showing no signs just yet of slowing down. System5 again going, good God, Camion. The round has barely begun. And a beautiful shot through one of the walls. A wallbang onto Kree. And that's going to get them the player advantage again. It just keeps going. DGL will get traded out, but this is still heavily favored for PERA.
Yeah, I mean, DGL, unfortunately, the spam does connect, but he is able to pick one up before he falls to the grave. This is looking really difficult. Keen's left all by himself. This Molotov will be good. It's going to force Aaron out in the open, but what it does do is force Keen into Aaron's crosshair. Aaron will snap his head right off, and in this 4 versus 2, with the utility now being placed down, Python is going to be forced to save with Patrick, and, well, they are just slowly throwing away this lead. And as we go on to Mirage, I was never hopeful going onto that map for starts. Now I'm feeling very unhopeful.
Save round after save round. Well, not save round as in your buy, but having to save weapons at the end of the round. System5 in a struggle here. Unconvinced they're going to be able to save these weapons. PERA might just opt to hunt them down. But for now, I mean, this is dire straits. The economy once again for System, they just managed to scrounge their buy for this one. The next round, all they're going to have is these 2 hero rifles. And just barely anything really to supplement that. As PERA continue to dominate on this T side on Vertigo. System have just looked so lost from start to finish. Freddie, what do you think has been like the biggest issue for System5?
It's just like, firstly, I feel like these rounds have laid quite flat. PERA are playing maybe a little bit slower towards ramp, and System5 had tried to, especially in that last round, tried to hit the fight straight to them, and just didn't seem like, yeah, it just felt quite lackluster. Like they didn't properly take that control. They lost the opening pick towards the B bomb site within the first few seconds. It just really hasn't been looking too great for them. They do have max loss bonus, so they at least can. Like with these 2 rifles, King can drop over an A1S, buy up an AWP, and I think seeing the lack of AWP on him has been definitely quite a detriment, because if they, like, you know, the smoke's being naded, if King was able to get some impact on that, he could have at least saved his teammate potentially, but right now it's once again Poya. He's been very aggressive up gap multiple times. I feel like System5 have to anticipate this. He's been going solo forward with more his individual, with his rifle is giving some coverage behind him. And PERA, once again, just taking their control towards A. What is going to be the System5 response here? They have Python on sandbags, a good flashbang here. Chill doesn't have a flashbang, so they're going to have no flash, and DGL getting aggressive. It's going to get the opener. Python does nothing to trade him, swings out, and only is able to get that first. A bomb site open.
Python's so slow to swing there to get that trade, and will lose another teammate in himself. And unfortunately, that again a numbers advantage for PERA here. Patrick, however, will bring things back down to an even kilter. A beautiful barrage of spam and nades and util to deny that plant from going down. Now, System able to overrun the site. Last player left alive for PERA. Much better round from System. Great util usage there. And they will finally wrestle back control of this map. Map point. But PERA still reasonably comfortable. At least it's still able to buy in. However, they cannot afford to make a single mistake for at least 3 more rounds.
Crazy. Of course, that's the round that they win, right? The round where they have, they lose basically 2 players instantly towards the A-bomb site. The rotations aren't too close, but they don't even allow the bomb to go down. Really nice from System5. Cameron, who's got the opening towards the side of the map before, he's going to try and initiate that once again. But Keen, great awareness. Keen has started towards the A-bomb site mostly, and now they anticipate that because the A site didn't work for PERA in the last round, they might try throw something fast towards B. Can be an attempt what he's done before, and Keen is there ready and waiting.
It's a good call. It is going to be this B site execute. Beautiful tracking there. Follows Aaron into the smoke. Nice little bit of a spray down. But there will be some countering here from PERA. Only 2 players left alive trying to lock down the site, as we will get one more coming through. 2 versus 2, and we see an aggressive push from Poria. Shut down as Python takes him out. And now this is where things start to get a little bit paranoia-inducing for DGL. He attempts to hold the line, but unfortunately, he cannot make it happen. That's going to be System5 taking our first map, 13-9. You know what, Freddie? You had them as your team to potentially win out, and they did. They absolutely impressed and surprised, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next map's going to hold.
Yeah, I'm overall just really confused about what happened there. Like, you had System5 going 7-0 up at the beginning. They kind of dropped the ball a little bit on their T side, so they allow the half to go 8-4. They win the second pistol round, both in the game, and then they surge to what, like 11-4, 11. Yeah, it was 11-4, and then they just struggle for so long. They maybe what I could see that being is them trying to finish the game, and you see that with a lot of teams when they get to that 11-4 stand, they just start getting a little bit over aggressive. They stop maybe playing as a course, playing as a team. They go for these little small bits of aggression that aren't completely unified. I think that was potentially the reason, but PERA did also play very well with opening kicks from Camion towards B and good presence towards A. They were playing slow, but all their rounds I felt like were quite similar. They weren't throwing very much variation. That didn't seem to be an issue, but as soon as it did show variation, Keen read them like a Harry Potter novel, gets the opening kill towards that B bomb site, and at least System5 can breathe a deep sigh of relief and go into this next map with the advantage. And we're going to take a look at the MVP of that first map.
Oh, Harry Potter, he knows, Chad. That one he knows. But we do have a map MVP, as he said. And of course, it was DGL. I think that should come as no surprise to anyone. It flickered on your screen so quickly. Blink and you missed it. Oh, is it Keen? Okay, it was the wrong thing that flashed on this.
Yeah, I would have expected it to be Keen, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll wait for that. There you go. Keen is the one. 18 and 13. A couple more deaths than to be expected, but a nice little number of assists there, a decent ADR. And yeah, I mean, I think that he had some really, really pivotal moments. Even if he wasn't necessarily going big on the multi-frags, they were always really important like linchpin kills that he was getting, right? Things that would swing the round back in their favor. Definitely played a pivotal part.
Yeah, I think DGL was doing a lot better at getting some of those opening frags, and Keen, especially on the second half, was really struggling in some moments, especially when they started losing. I feel like Keen was definitely a figurehead that I wanted to see rise up, and with some very weird economy placement, that wasn't to be. But as you see, as soon as he gets the AWP out, he gets the opening frag in the last round. He does well overall, and it'll be very important to see if he can follow this forward. The Latvian, if I'm not mistaken, if he can follow this over into the second map, because Mirage is going to be really interesting for System5. They used to be their insta-ban. They used to insta-ban, they used to be insta-ban Mirage, now they insta-ban Ancient, which is one of their better maps. So it's definitely a bit of a surprise for me when I saw that veto. But I would assume that they have at least had, because they had about a month break since they lost in the closed qualifier of the RMR qualifiers online. They've had some time off, and maybe to assess their map pool, and they've plugged Mirage back in.
I think it's also just important to keep in mind the fact that the System5 on HLTV is not the System5 that we have in our game. Yeah, like I didn't want to be that you know, terrible person that goes, you're wrong, Freddy.
Just completely forgot that then just like it's all a lie.
Yeah. It's all, you know what? Nobody knows what's going on. Wibbly wobbly. Welcome back, everybody. It's ECL Season 47 Europe Day 1, and we've already had our first map. So if you missed it, it was a pretty back and forth affair over on Vertigo. 13-9 in favor of System5. And for those of you that aren't aware, if you look at the roster on HLTV, the team has been updated since then. There's a few new players. So if you're surprised by this result, trust me, so are we. But we're really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen on Mirage. We had said that these were two teams that kind of had a little bit to prove coming into this, but that was before we had realized that System5 had done a roster overhaul. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack in this, and for PERA, this was not the start to the series that they would have wanted. It was their opponent's map pick, but we're going to be heading into Mirage very shortly, Freddie. So what are we expecting on this one?
Well, yeah, as we said before, everything kind of changes now with, like, the Mirage pick. We thought System5 were a different team, so we're a bit confused by that. But it's basically kind of like the core of the Prodigies team, the old Prodigies team, including Python, the Frenchman, who used to play for Falcons, played for them for quite a while. And, like, you know, he did all right with them, but obviously the roster's changed previously. So we don't really have, like, yeah, you know, the whole thing's changed. I think Falcons, he did reach at least, like, top 30 when it was all French, with like Masuta, Kenny S, MBK, so he has played at quite a decent level. And then Chill from the Namiga time is where I kind of know him as. He's a very individually talented player, and we did see that a little bit on the server previously. But I think for Mirage, System5 looked really clean coming into Vertigo for pretty much all of it, and then dropped the ball a little bit. If they're able to refresh and just kind of play the Counter-Strike that they were playing beforehand, I think this could be very difficult for PERA, but PERA needs to really get that act together, because Aaron was playing amazing, but I don't know, it was quite rough around the board. DJ was doing well. Can he show that masterclass more on Mirage?
All right, we do have an updated schedule. So a reminder, guys, we are running our stream in tandem with a B stream. That is on ESL CSB. And over on that side, it is Saw versus Rush B. And I think no surprise to anyone, Saw coming out on top of that one, 1-0. And as we already said, System 1-0 currently in their own series. So both our matches will be heading into their second map very, very shortly. And props to the HLTV guys, because the System5 roster has been updated. So if you want to hit that F5, go ahead and do that. And you can see who's on the roster. You've got updated stats and all the good things that HLTV bring for us. And that's how I can tell you that not much, because this is a very, very new roster. So all those updated stats, they all come to null. What I can tell you, if it means anything to anybody, is that the core of these rosters last played each other in July last year. A lot changes in, what is that, 8 months, 7 or 8 months. So we won't put too much stock in that one. It was a great opener here for System5, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen on Mirage. This is one of PERA, if not their best map, right? 100% win rate over 5 maps recently. They have looked stellar on it. But given their performance on Vertigo, and look, we have to bear in mind, right, there were a few technical issues that were plaguing them.
Sure,
DGL disconnected a couple of times. There were like some problems that they were trying to deal with. So hopefully heading into Mirage, all of that has been ironed out, and things will go a little bit more smoothly for them as we head into our second map of the series.
Yeah, that was actually something that was quite unfortunate for DGL. Like, I think he was discussing a lot pretty much. Like, he was struggling to stay in the server for longer periods of time at the beginning, but did get ironed out towards the end there. But I guess what we can do is we can take a look at Mirage for PERA, because that is a map that at least we have some info from, and it's a map they've done pretty well on. For their past 5 games, they've won every single one of them. Coming into this year, it was a key part of them making the RMRs with wins over Sync, Eyeballers, and Anonymo. And then most recently, they utilized it against Guild Eagles in, I think, the finals of the National Championship qualifier. So, as we've said, the PERA lot, they have qualified for the RMR. They went 0-3, which is unfortunate. But realistically, I think that was expected, just on the basis of the teammates, the teams they've played previously. They also have that Pro League spot. So ESL Challenger, the finalists throughout all this really, really long system, the finalists, they get that spot to ESL Pro League Season 20. And what's really lucky for the PERA side is they already have that spot. So they don't have as much pressure on them. What they can use this as a really good position for officials and getting that HLTV ranking bumped up, which they have done pretty well to get up to 45 after their their RMR run, which I think they went to 35. So if they can hold that and maintain that using ESL Challenger and using other events, and that is their main objective.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is obviously this gives you a lot of, like you said, official practice. So you're
Yes.
playing against a large variety of teams, a large variety of play styles, a large variety of different protocols that different teams have to deal with different scenarios. And it can only do you wonders. And as just about any coach will tell you, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. So after that defeat on Vertigo, they're going to have a lot to go back and take a look at and see what they can improve on for the next. But we're not through with this series just yet. We could still see that map 3 Anubis come through. We'll find out very, very shortly. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen on Mirage, right? It's one of those maps. We spoke about how Vertigo has this like really high skill ceiling in terms of macro play. When it comes to Mirage, that's a high skill ceiling for the micro, because most teams have stratted this map to absolute death. And now it comes down to how well are you guys playing on an individual level? How well are you isolating or avoiding being isolated, right? We said that was one of the things that PERA was doing. They kept getting themselves isolated. They kept getting themselves killed way too early on. So on a more familiar map, on a map that they are more comfortable on, does that start to look a little bit better, or can System5 completely throw them off their stride again?
That's pretty much what we're going to be looking at. I think, yeah, that pretty much sums it up perfectly. And these pistol rounds, the fact that PERA they lost both their pistol rounds, and also subsequently after both the pistol rounds really struggled to get the ball moving, that screams to me like, okay, going into the second map, can we at least get one? If it was a 9-13 game, we didn't win a single pistol round, we didn't win a single second round buy, then a single third round buy, that's 6 rounds already in total that PERA were unable to win due to a pistol round. If that can be changed, then we could also be seeing it getting a lot closer.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll find that out very, very shortly. We are just waiting. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're jumping straight into our game now. We timed that perfectly. Well done, us, Freddy. We're jumping into map 2. It is Mirage. And just as a reminder, ECL Season 47 Europe. And it's PERA versus System5. PERA, this is their lifeline. If they lose this map, well, they're not out, but they take the beginning of the season with a loss, and definitely not the way they'd want to kick this off.
Yeah, it's the very, very first game. I think it's really exciting to be here for the inaugural map of a series for ESL Challenger. It's going to be starting with PERA on now Redemption. Can they acquire that reverse sweep? They lost their opponent's map pick. Now on their map pick, they're heading towards this B-bomb site. Kree already spots them. Shallow Molotov is going to be forcing them through that. It's going to be singling them out. MSN and Camion both very low and also by themselves. That's the very key thing we want to be looking at. But really well done from Camion to at least trade his teammate. And now the B-bomb site with really smokes towards Market and Short will isolate System5 and is going to allow for the bomb to go down in this 4 versus 4.
Quick and dirty execute. Now PERA just have to hold their post plant. No utility available here for PERA. System do have one flash to potentially help displace PERA's post plant ever so slightly. Flash comes out, doesn't quite seem to get too much done as Camion will spray down. The 4-man swing is terrifying. Good lord. It's a quick and clean round for PERA.
You know the joke of 1, 2, 3, swing? Well, PERA did that perfectly. And that pistol round was... I think System5 could have won that if they just had one more player immediately on that bomb site, because I really like those smokes from PERA. They had deep short and they had Market. So they forced the retake unless Kree gets a double. The Molotov dissects them. It's two PERA players. They jump out by themselves. They have no support. If there was one more player immediately on that B bomb site, then I think System5 would have won those first 2 interactions, and that would have been a completely different round. But now we head on to the second round. It's a full eco. PERA, they finally won a gun round, but they are running into the stack. Oh, Zeus!
Oh, no way. He's waiting for that close range engagement, and he is going to get the full value from that. Unfortunately, it seems like 2 might be all they're good for, as Keen tries so hard to get another. But that's all she wrote. Bomb planted, only 2 players lost for PERA. The reinvest is not going to be egregious, and they're going to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, comfortable. That could have gone really south with how many players stayed alive very quickly, as there was 2 players very low. But nice Zeus from Python. Under that window, you can get, like, because they jump over your head. and like it's pretty easy to hit them as soon as they land or when they're in the air. I think I just have the memories of a Mac 10 headshotting me mid-air, and I'm just like, right, unfortunate, I guess, go next. But 5A1S has bought System5. They have really poor utility, and a Molotov being missed as well. One of their only Molotov being missed. This going for a mid crunch, and the issue with that Molotov being missed is that Mr. Poyer in top middle can just play around the boxes, but that doesn't seem to matter as he instantly dies, and Aaron only goes 1 for 1. This mid control from PERA is falling very flat very quickly. MSN forced to make some sort of play outside of Palace, and this is a great start for the System5 side.
Finally, with some guns in their hands, they lose the first couple of rounds, but not to be deterred. Chill has an inkling. He's quite sure somebody has just snuck up through window. Ooh, spots the shoulder, Cammy, and beautiful little fire there. We'll be able to get yet another kill. This round is so far from salvageable just yet. As we see the two players from PERA trying to find a place to link up. Caught out in the open. Oh, and DGL is going to be good for one. Instantly going to try to rotate over to B. But the pop-up from stairs means that the bomb is lost. Camion, everything to do here. Ooh! Nice little flick there. Straight down onto the head. 1 versus 1. Only Python stands between him and another round win. But it's going to be Python who catches him off. And will win the first round for Python. No, for System.
What a messy round that was. 4 versus 2. System5. They had the information that there was a player in window, and they still somehow managed to put it into a 2 versus 2, 1 versus 1. Chill does get very unfortunate with his timing. He was under window, goes into connector, and never checks shorts, never checks top mid, and he gets really unlucky with that timing. Maybe a little bit focused and hyper focused towards towards window, because that was where the confirmed player was. But overall, a win is a win. And now, PERA, they're going for this full execute towards the A-bomb site. A double setup in towards ramp. Patrick seemingly had baited Keen in, but Aaron with great awareness. And now as Patrick has failed, it's a 3 versus 3. There is good rotation, so Python will catch them off as they're trying to run through CT. And Chill just pedaled to the medal. Even though he'd taken a nade to the dome, is still storming his way forward. Burning in the Molotov, is still able to get away with 1 HP. And DGL, all by his lonesome, forced to, well, try and make some magic happen.
I do love me a Tech 9 rush, and it does keep things a little bit expensive. That kill onto Chill would have been such a big difference maker, just in terms of a good economic round. I think if DGL were able to get 1 more here, it would be fabulous. But I'm not too sure he's going to be able to survive too much longer. Chill, 2 HP in a dream. Waiting for DGL to come around the corner here. I don't know if DGL pushes this. I feel like just holding on to this weapon might be the right play here, and it looks like that might just be the call. 30 seconds left to decide. It couldn't possibly ever be a B. So it's just going to be a float back and forth, make sure nobody's backstabbing, and try to hold on to the weapon.
The issue with him saving here is he really puts himself isolated with economy, and like I really think I would have preferred him to die here, because they don't have great loss bonus. I think they only get 1900 into this round, but DGL won't get any, so he's going to be sitting on $400 going to the next round. That means when they go to buy up and they get 2400 as a team, DGL right now will be getting 2700. Oh, sorry, 2800. Which is not going to be enough to suffice a full buy. He does do well to get some more damage in, so System5 are really in a position where they have no stability with their economy, and going into this round, that's going to be my main focus. If they can just stabilize a little bit and hold enough players alive, but really well done on holding that A-bomb site. And Chill, just as I said, held to the medal, worked out well.
Good eco round, but not much more to be said about it. DGL gonna have to try to hold on to this rifle if he can. And some serious mid-aggression here from System. Not looking to give an inch, but look at how B has been left almost entirely unguarded. Kree is gonna play a little bit of a swing anchor in mid, so that he can instantly head back to B if needed, but there's the aggression from System5. Chill getting those first 2 kills. Bomb is still in spawn. Despite the fact that PERA have almost made their way in towards the B site, nothing is going to come from this. It's a clean round from System5.
As I said, they needed to keep it as clean as possible, and they do it literally flawlessly. They barely took any damage. The A1S from DGL that's been saved over just got negated. Instantly naded down to 50. Dry swings middle after his teammate had fallen. Try to get the trade to no avail. And System5, very aggressive in middle, already conditioned that very early on, showing PERA that they're going to have to be scared for middle because mid's going to get fought for if PERA choose to do so. And I think here, with top mid smoke and window smoke being instantly propelled, they're going to fight for it, but DGL's on that deagle because of the save. Oh, what a nade. I love that from PERA. They know System5's fighting, they double nade connector, they get a kill and 50 damage on Keen.
Love that. And that's going to give them that man advantage. And it's so important here. Because these last few rounds have just not gone their way. So now we've got to lean over towards the B side. But this B side is heavily anchored, I suppose. Reinforced, that's the word. You're going to be checking down into apartments here. Oh, they're going for an aggressive push. Oh, good for one. Trades come back and forth. But now positions are known. Bomb is lost. The smoke to come down to try and deny the sightline.
Oh, wow.
Nice swing from Aaron. Will shut Python down. Get him out of the server. Bomb recollected. 2 versus 1 on the B side as the two... Like, it's an interesting little lurk thing happening over towards mid. The real action is here on B, waiting for a moment, waiting for a sign from their lurk that it's safe to go, waiting for some information of some kind. And Patrick, is he's just chilling.
Yeah, they don't know at all a lurk's being initiated, so Keen's going to get a very rude awakening, and that's round over. Very disappointing that Python is unable to hold down that bomb after he gets the smoke out. I thought that double swing was a bit bold from PERA, but then Aaron just instantly gets the headshot. So very nice pre-aim, very nice like thought process there. And Patrick, well, save, right? Like you're in a 1 versus 3. You have a kit, you have no utility. Just save this weapon and go into the next where you will be able to buy a round. You can drop over Python and you can have a full buy and an AWP out for Keen.
It was a great round from PERA. Some great adaptations there, right? Starting with the double nade in towards mid to punish System's aggression and ending up with a beautiful lurk that secures them that B site. Well played from them. But now the question becomes, how do System5 adapt to that, right? They've had this constant mid-aggression. They know that if they keep doing that, they're likely going to get punished for it. So there needs to be some sort of an adaptation in that regard. But that means that they could give over a little bit more control in mid than they would like. So curious to see what the response is going to be. As it's still full buys across the board here. AWP in the hands of Keen. We've seen what he's capable of with it. Camion has just been on an absolute tear this map. The fact that he's already 8-3 is terrifying for System5.
Yeah, that lurk was amazing. He is very fortunate. He slips a net from Patrick. And what is this? That top... Oh, yes, it's a connector smoke. Okay. So, connector smoke being thrown out. And Keen, I'm looking to see where he is with the AWP. He's getting aggressive towards the apartment. He's alongside Crease. They're wanting to take the space and then allow for the rotator to get off. So, they've taken so much of that extremity. And now they could... That's the reaction you were calling for. What are they going to do? Well, their reaction is going to be taking some space elsewhere. But a double smoking connector. It's big miscommunication. And that pretty much bleeds away all the utility from System5. However... Putting the pressure towards the middle is going to allow Kree to rotate from underpass, and especially with the kill from Chill, he forces Poya to look away from underpass, and that is a wonderful 2-man advantage.
And in the space of 1 round, System make just the right adaptations to give themselves a massive advantage. But the way that they control the map is so chaotic, and I love it. They're everywhere all at once. They cover so much area. They're not afraid to leave the site because they know, like, no one's going to be coming from behind them. So as long as they keep the avenues locked down, should be all right, assuming they win their duels. It can be very, very dangerous, but the fact that they're winning these battles so consistently means that they never lose that map control. And PERA struggle to bring things back. They need to kick things off with the man advantage just to be able to get themselves into the site. If they allow System to take that first kill of the round just starts to spiral out of control.
Yeah, what I've noticed as well for the PERA T side, they have a lurk most times towards A, And as soon as they lose that control towards middle and they lose that the picks, they instantly have someone dueling, trying to take back that advantage. It happened once with Aaron out Palace. He instantly died. This round, it was Camion just swinging out ramp, and he only goes 1-for-1, which isn't enough. But Kree does get really lucky in that round, because as I said, there was PERA holding from underpass, but I think it was Chill just randomly spams Con, gets a kill, and then PERA turns his attention back towards Connector, and then Kree strikes. It really happened. That sequence very nicely for him, and a little bit lucky, but for System5, great aggression towards the extremities, and now PERA are going to have to be a little bit scared of that B apartments.
Oh, opening shot doesn't connect from Keen, unfortunately. What a beautiful opener that would have been. And there you go, Aaron with one of the few rifles. Good for one. But will instantly get traded out by Chi. Good calls from the team. Give that information over. It's a very, very broke buy here for PERA that they have to make work. But Camion has been such a hero for this team, and he's going to keep that up. Spotted out by Keen. Great repeat there. Unfortunately, not able to make anything happen. 2 versus 1. As we will get that kill up in window. Steps heard. PERA will get one more. 1 versus 1. Patrick in such a good position. Completely unexpected. 5th round on board.
Sorry, great round from Patrick. He was in window and gets the lovely jump into ladder, yet his teammate dies, and they didn't seem to have the complete instant understanding where it could be, because he did actually get the kill onto Gree in up short, but really well done from Patrick. That is some very impressive movement, and especially when it's clutch, he doesn't make any noise. He doesn't give PERA any sound cues of where he could be, but still very worrying that got that close. And I think as well, MVP Kree getting that 1 kill towards the B bomb site. And Patrick, yeah, drops the bomb in short, jumps into ladder room. Fantastic from him. And now up against the lower buy, you can see PERA, they have no control towards middle. System5 get very aggressive, but the focus is over towards this A bomb site. MSN and Camion ripping two heads with their deagles, and Camion is just pushing even further forward. Python, only defender here, alongside Kree. They're actually doing really well. They just shut it down completely. All of a sudden, this round comes crashing down, but as rightfully said, the bomb's being planted towards the B bomb site. DGL, with only a Glock, scurry to try help his teammate, and Aaron takes the fight to them, doesn't get the kill, but most importantly, does stay alive.
And stay alive they must. Time ticking away. If they could somehow steal this round away, the Deagle. Aaron is good for 1. Kree versus DGL. Kree has managed to pick up a rifle. Sorry, DGL picked up an orb. Spams through the shot. The shot through the smoke doesn't connect. The defuse comes through, and that is an absolutely ridiculous round to come so unbelievably close for PERA. The fact that they almost steal that round away. But well done to System5. Cool, calm, and collected. Sticks the defuse. Not a concern in the world.
That was so... Like, I don't know if you saw, Aaron got the kill on the wrong player towards bench there. He didn't mean to kill the player he killed. He killed the guy that was coming out of market by accident, trying to duel the guy close. And, well, DGL, yeah, almost snatches it away with that kill in the smoke. Very, very unfortunate. And a round that could have gone either... It should have gone in favor of PERA after the triple opener with the Deagle. But a lovely hold from Python and Kree sends it back to normality. All being saved, but back-to-back rounds for System5 where they only keep 1 alive. And Kree, once again, getting very aggressive with the apartments with Keen. They've done this play before. It's worked out both times. And now the focus goes towards middle as the 1-for-1, but Python's there ready to greet Camion if he jumps into the smoke. And Keen is here with the AWP up short. He needs to connect these shots though. There's 2 players close in front of him, and he misses both. So this has got very dangerous after an opening kill.
Python doesn't see the player sneaking into the smoke there, but will eventually get him as the smoke clears. Good for a second as well. And again, after a very, very chaotic start to the round, bear in mind there's still 50 seconds left in this round. These rounds have been so quick, so ridiculously chaotic. And it's already down to a 2 versus 1 here. DGL, again, last player left alive. Everything to play for. So much to be done. And the A side is completely free and clear. He could, at the very least, get a plant. But of course, he doesn't know where these last 2 players are. They've heard him jump down. They know that he's crossed. With the shots coming through. He knows that they know. Ooh, few of those shots connecting in onto him. He is playing happy feet here. And he might just... Yes, bomb...
Oh,
no!
no.
Oh, what a beautiful nade. Denies it at the literally very last second.
Okay, once again, a very close round after it was basically a 5 versus 3. Chill did get instantly traded, but still, very close. System5, I think it's been 1, 1, and 2 players surviving over the last 3, and that's been the general theme for them this whole CT side. They still are winning, though. That's all that matters. We're coming into the penultimate round of the half. PERA, no bomb down. They still can invest. And, wow, yeah, I love that 2 versus 1 as they did stick together. DGL, unfortunately, could not make it work. And now System5, they've aggressed towards the B bomb site quite a lot. Are they going to aggress towards A? Patrick and Palace could catch MSN completely off guard because it's a very slow round from both sides compared to what they usually are doing.
PERA sitting back down into a comfortable default. Unfortunately, System5's aggression has consistently stopped them in their tracks, but it's going to be MSN who will crack things open. Getting that first kill could be the difference maker here. They've made some noise in over towards A, but Chill has not turned his back on his post. And he will trade it out, bring it back to the 4 versus 4. Keen in a very tight spot there with the AWP. No, sorry, it was DGL. Yeah, there you go. Trying to find a nice sight line, but it's going to be Aaron who manages to take him down from up high. Oh, DGL with a nice little flick over. Chill going absolutely mental, getting an extra 2 for himself, and Python has to bring this home. Bomb down. PERA have an opportunity for a 4th.
Hold your breath, though. Python with a kit. Coming from stairs. Aaron completely cleared the flank. Will be turning his attention towards bottom stairs. And a nice spray and a nice headshot. And as you said, the 4th shall be ascertained by PERA. Very unfortunate for Keen on that bomb side. He'd aggressed towards triple. He'd already committed to that angle and cannot connect anything. He had to get a kill there. He had to do something. Kree as well swings in with his spray on DGL. Great from Chill to get a double there. But overall, really poor round from System5, even though they had the pretty much full understanding of what was happening. Chill's the only one that gets anything done over towards top connector. And now, because of them struggling to keep any players alive continuously, they're going into this final round of the half with 3 Deagles, 2 MP9s. I do like this aggression with Keen over towards short, but oh my god, Chill. He has no chill today, and he continues that with 2. The nade does put him down a little bit, but Chill, he is not stopping there. His Deagle is singing, there's red on the trigger, but unfortunately, we have to turn our focus over towards B apartments because MSN's dropped down. The 2's SMGs dueling at range, and the nade is going to really help out MSN as the B bomb site gets cracked open.
Oh my god, these Deagles is absolutely disgusting from System5. And like you said, they'd completely destroyed their own economy by not being able to survive that little bit longer. However, sight cracked open here for PERA. Bomb will be able to go down relatively easily. Patrick Galil in hand. Little bit of firepower to play with. They are going to try to pincer in here. Will the Deagle connect? No. It's going to be Camion who will take that player down. And there you go. It is a clean-ish one from PERA. 7-5 at the half.
System5, it was not an easy half for them. They struggled to keep more than 1 or 2 players alive most rounds, but they still come out on top 7-5. They lost the opening pistol round, the first one of this series. Now on the T side, can they change their luck? As they're defaulting a little bit towards that B bomb site, but Camian gets so much information pushing top mid very early on.
Bearing in mind the scoreline is 1-0 already to System5. So for PERA, this is an important map for them to win. It is their own map pick, and Camian will kick things off quite nicely with the opening kill of the round. Instantly traded, however, as he's stuck in no man's land. System5 will bring it back to an even kilter. Instantly push up into window. Good for one. Traded out again. It keeps going back and forth, but DGL, once again, last player left alive. We see him in this position far too often. 3 HP and a dream. Bomb does get planted, so no chance of denying that from happening. Knows where one of the players should be. Spots him out.
Oh.
Nice little jump shot there from Python. And it's
Sure,
going to be an easy round.
Yeah, I mean, great round from Patrick. I feel like he had 6 kills going into this half, but I remember every single one is just now doing that a little bit more consistently. Like, he's had some good stages, but yeah, as I said, just doing that more prolonged, and a really key pistol round for System5. But they got the bomb down regardless, so even no matter what the outcome of that round would have been, you're still looking good. But PERA forced on an eco, and I think that was a really like must-win pistol round for me if you're looking at PERA, because it's looking like a 9-5. If they lose that first gun round, it may already be like 11-5, and they did come back on Vertigo, but I don't know if they're going to do it again. And I'm seeing like a System 2-0 here to start off their crusade towards ESL Pro League in ESL Challenger this season over in
Well, I've already kicked off the second round in a terrifying flying fashion. PERA, last player left alive. Don't see too much happening here. A bit of economic damage is the best you can hope for. But it's going to be another round for System5. And yeah, I think that this is a great start for System5, especially when you consider that this is a pretty new team. In a sense, right? Like, we haven't seen... Yeah. It's a tough one. But we definitely weren't expecting them, right? Like, when we saw System5, we were expecting an entirely different team altogether. So to have them, you know, be able to come in like this and to be doing this well, it's really, really impressive for them, and it's a great way to kickstart. But like we said, right, PERA is a team that have a lot to prove coming into this, particularly because they had that shot on the LAN. They were playing against teams of a much higher caliber, and they just were not able to perform. So this is their proving ground, and so far it hasn't been the start that they wanted. Give them just a moment here to try to catch their breath, as they do have a buy into this one. AWP in the hands of DGL. A little bit of a quieter one than the previous map, but he has still definitely been in it to win it. There's a couple of kills will come through here. That was a cheeky shot. 3 versus 2 for PERA. It looks like they might just be able to walk away with this one. Bomb hasn't committed to anything. The last 2 players, sorry, stuck out in mid. And anywhere that they go, they're going to hit a brick wall.
Yeah, System5 going for like a B fake in towards connector, but gets spotted out way too early on, so it just swindles all of their plans. PERA, he has to get a kill here. He can't die instantly, and as he does, now DGL all by himself in towards Sniper. But because his teammate died close to him, they just weren't anticipating that, and they know where Chill is. Picks up the bomb, he's able to do that from a flashbang off to DGL, and DGL, just a really easy round from him. Yeah, I do not understand what System5 were doing there, because if they'd just gone straight toward that B bomb site, MSM was all by himself, there was no close rotator. If they'd just gone full B exec, they probably would have won the round and done it very cleanly, but that was not the case. They overcomplicate it, and towards the end there, that 2 versus 3 was unsuccessful.
PERA will be happy with that one at the very least. They do lose a few players in it, but stringing those rounds together is the most important part for them, and they are slowly chipping away at System5's money. They were able to do a really good job of it in the previous half. Let's see if they can replicate that, but with a few more round wins under their belt. Seeing a nice slow default here from System. I like that System has played quite dynamic. Some rounds they play quite aggressive, some rounds they play a little bit slower. Does definitely keep their opponents on their toes. A bit of util across the map. keep PERA guessing, looking for that little bit of early information to determine where they're actually going to hit.
Well, they're taking my advice and going towards the B-bomb site, but it's in a bit of a different stage because now you at least have Camion over there. He's not top mid within 5 seconds like last round. And I really like the setup from PERA, to be honest. Like, they have no mid control, but it's worked out in their favor because System5, they aren't fighting for it at all. You have Aaron jiggling close ramp, and you have Poyo to be first contact alongside DGL with Yorp to become connector. So a really nice bait and switch that can be going on right now. And Poyo does have the understanding that could be someone window, and Chill gives him that sound cue. Fail the jump up. CS2 jumps been a little bit have been a little bit strange, but Chill does not care. Instantly snaps the head off Poyo, and now we're focusing here on Aaron. MP9 and Sandwich, they're not clearing him, but unfortunately it is just an MP9. I think he gets 2 ding stops, like 2 consecutive dings, and now the focus goes to DGL. He strikes down 2, keeps it in the 3 versus 3, but can not deny the bomb being planted, and as he falls, MSN's all by himself. It's a 2 versus 1 now at Python's on 22 HP. It's looking very winnable, 1v1, and MSN continues and holds a spray towards triple, but unfortunately for him, Patrick connects his shot, and System5 clinch double digits.
If that spray transfer had connected,
I
I
would've
would
gone
have
crazy.
lost it, man.
Yeah.
That would have been insane. Unfortunately, not to be the case. And therein lies the peril of not having that mid control, right? You've got that one player who's watching connector, watching to see if they do sneak up that way. But as soon as that player goes down, the site can be completely overrun, and the rotations from B are going to take that little bit longer to come into play. Thankfully, DGL is able to get 2 with the AWP and kind of staunches the bleeding ever so slightly, but it's not enough to secure them the round. And System5 very quickly wrestled back control, put PERA back down onto a pistol. Camion caught running with his pants down. He's going to get taken out by the AWP. It is a pistol round for PERA, so we don't expect too much to come out of it, but that's going to put System on 11 rounds here. And I don't know about you, Freddy, but I'm having some Vertigo flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. I think that was a really rough round for them to lose. And if you take a look at just kind of like the fact they only kept 2 alive in the round they did win, they were forced to eco here, and I think they have 2,900 going the next round. So yeah, it looks like they will have about 2,900. Oh no, sorry, 2,400 actually. So they will at least be able to purchase up. All about damage, Patrick just refuses to react to Poyo, and Poyo somehow almost gets 2 with a P250. A lot of people are very low. There's currently a 4 versus 1, and you've got Chill, Keen, and Python all below 15 HP. This Deagle can do damage. Kree is the only one with HP. He's towards CT, so at least understands where MSN is now. And oh my god, he almost just denied the bomb. I don't want to sit here and say this is a winnable round, but if Keen keeps on peaking with 7 HP, it looked like it would have been. But no, they keep 3 alive. They get the 11 rounds, but my god, those pistols were inches away from winning that out.
We've had a couple of rounds like that where it's just so close, and yet no cigar. And finally, and this is the first timeout from PERA. We saw them take a couple on Vertigo, although I think you could chalk a couple of those up to the tech issues that we were having. It's the first time that they're actually using one on this map, and it's desperately needed and possibly a bit late in the game. They do have a full buy here, so they have an opportunity to wrestle it back, and if they can get this round, System5's economy will be busted. So it's the perfect opportunity to start getting a little bit of a runaway train going in terms of rounds, but it starts with this one. So whatever's being said in that timeout has got to make all the difference in the world. Otherwise, that's it. If System win this round, everyone on PERA has bought down to $0 except for DGL. So System winning this round will win them the series unless we get some crazy eco shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm also conscious of is System5 over on Vertigo. They were maybe trying to end the game a little bit too soon, so that's something I'm conscious of as I am entering round 18. They've got this really extended league. It's Vertigo flashbacks. Are we going to be witnessing another crazy comeback, or will it just be them flatlining and System5 taking this series 2-0 And my prediction being correct. Oh, MSN, okay, bye-bye, Kree. That's one way to get an opening pick.
Such an important start to the round for PERA here. And Kree, to be fair, is pretty pivotal linchpin to be taking off the board as well. So they're going to be happy with that initial pick. And System, and this is going to cause them a little bit of pause. Have to figure out how they're going to adapt to this, as unfortunately, Python gets caught out in mid by Camion. Ooh, chill spotted one. Knows he's up there. Hasn't pulled the trigger just yet. Sneaks on through, but it's actually Poya who takes him out. That was a little bit, yeah, that was a thing that happened. Yeah. But it's a round that goes in favor of PERA nonetheless.
That was such an oh, DGL disconnected. Okay, unlucky.
Okay, that explains a lot, because that looked a bit weird.
That was a really unfortunate round from System5, I'll be honest, because you had two players walking through a smoke. If Chill had gone towards jungle, he would have killed Aaron, and then would have been able to pinch on Camion, who was stairs. The unfortunate thing is that he swings out. So he's going for the trigger splint. The reason why he didn't kill Camion straight away is because he wanted to try and search. But the issue is he was fixated onto that stairs player just a little bit too much. And because of that, he walks into the crosshairs of Poya. DGL has disconnected, but they're still continuing. I don't know if he's moving on the map. I really can't tell. Like, on the top right, he had disconnected going into that last round. But we seem to be playing, and it is just going to be pistol for System5. So they're going to give PERA some breathing room. They have 1900 loss bonus going the next round. Python will not be able to buy up. And yeah, it looks like it could be a 4 versus 5. But luckily for them, they are playing against pistols, so it isn't too much of a worry. Did they just play a 4 versus 5 round?
I think they may have. This is... Yeah, we're trying to sort it out here. There might be a HUD issue. We had that a little bit earlier on as well, where DGL was like not dead, but he looked dead, but everything was fine. So maybe there's a little bit of a HUD issue. That's why we're back. We should be back into the game momentarily, hopefully not too long. But you know what? We're seeing some signs of life from PERA here, and this is really exciting. They've got an opportunity to try and bring it back. We saw something similar on Vertigo. They were starting to claw their way back into it, and then it was snatched away from them at the end. The half just not as close as it needed to be to make that magic happen. This time around, we're in a similar situation. 11-8. It's a pretty damn familiar scoreline. PERA are going to need to really dig deep into this one. Because that last round, it was a bit of a throwaway round for System5, granted. We said it. They were going to be on a bit of an eco. They didn't have too much to work with, but they're back in with a full buy now. Well, limited utility, but a robust buy nonetheless. Yeah, PERA have to take full advantage.
Yeah, Python had like 3k going this round, so like he has full util, and they might go for a full execute. Camion has been such a pester going up towards middle within like 5 seconds of the round starting. The issue is it has left MSN isolated on that B site, but this is a round where that's not going to affect him whatsoever because they're going towards the A bomb site. But Aaron's rotating away from B potentially because of MSN being alone. So Poya getting that opening kill and also blocking the jungle smoke is monumental. There is no one to help Poya over towards jungle and connector, and he actually will get caught off guard by Keen, who doubles down. But turn your attention towards the espionage that's occurring. Camion and DPL in the back line. They're not going to be quick enough to deny the bomb. But if MSN just stays alive, they can catch people off guard and Chill be the first. Now, Python is aware. Camion's going to not mollow him out quite. It's going to go towards default. They don't know about DGL though. They only know about one player. And they seem to be very aware that Python's over towards Firebox. He's being spammed and DGL will take him down. Last 2 players on the T side. Post planted over towards CT. Kree with a must kill. And joined by Keen, who's claimed his 3rd of the round. Camion is trying to spam, not connecting. Has a kit, has full utility, up against the 3 HP player of Keen. Taps the bomb, 4 bullets left, and Keen's not peeking out. Does, but the time has gone too low. The bomb's ticked away, and System5, with no one alive, take 12.
Keen with 3 HP, despite dying there, does just enough to deny that time. And PERA cannot get that defuse in. Well done. You know, that flank could have been phenomenal, but it was just a little bit too slow to activate. When it did, there was a little too much uncertainty and a bit too little utility to really give it the full activation that it needed. Map and series point for System5. And their money's a little bit messy at the moment. They'll be able to string something together, no doubt. But there's still a chance for PERA. It's going to take 4 rounds consecutively to take us into that OT. But there's definitely a world in which I can see that happening. Unfortunately, their buy is less than ideal. DGL on $0. A Deagle in hand. We've seen some very disgusting Deagle plays today. But will it be enough to give them a stay of execution? System have opted to keep their utility limited and allow Keen to buy into that AWP. And that could just be the signal for GG.
I'm really impressed by Keen. Like, a lovely double entry. Normally the AWP of the squad picks up the rifle and just shows them what's good. 2 HP and does not swing. Ice in the veins right there. And I still like that PERA taking this really heavy mid control, but System5 go, okay, you've done that pretty much every round. We're just going to play a 2-2-1 default. Fully chill. Wait to see if Camion swings wide top mid once again. But instead, that's not going to occur. No opening pick has been offered up on a silver platter just yet. And if I'm System5, I'm very surprised that I haven't understood that the B bomb site's been left pretty vacant on multiple occasions. But as the clock strikes 1, System5 start walking out middle. Con, short. Need to be aware of both those positions, especially short now. There's going to be 2 players there.
This could turn into an absolute bloodbath in mid as PERA will kick us off. Nice little boost there to get the opening kill, and they will fall back instantly. They've done what they needed to do. They've given themselves an advantage. And System, off the back of that, will start to push in towards this A site. Unaware of DGL's position in jungle. Good for 1. The Deagle sings. And Camion able to respond in kind from CT. Down to only 2 players left. How has this gone so wrong for System?
They slowed it right down and just offered up 1 at a time. Picks for PERA. Hoyer gets 3. Lovely from him. Starts it off with that boost over towards short. Catches Chill completely off guard. And they smoke connected. They run through it. And they just don't anticipate anything. Really nice from PERA. They keep Mirage alive. They keep the series alive. They're going to have to force it into overtime if they want to take it to that 3rd map. If they want to take it to Anubis. It's going to be a long way, but they're starting off against the Pistols, and this is their best opportunity they have to start getting that momentum.
Pistol rush towards apartments. Nice little early aid there to get a bit of damage onto Chill. Oh,
no.
The FAMAS loses the duel. Gun handed over. Keen will say thank you very much for that. But they haven't cracked open the site, and it looks like, oh my god, they're just going to turn around. A side is completely free and clean. Chill's called it. He's like, come on, guys. Water's great. The entirety of PERA have rotated over towards the B side, but they know that they have everything they need to play for a retake. They have utility. They have superior weaponry. They don't mind this. Bomb getting planted? Sure, they'd like to deny the money, but it's way more important that they win the rounds.
If I'm System5 right now, going back to that bomb plant you mentioned, that's all I care about right now. Just getting that bomb down, getting that extra money. That's definitely going to help a lot going into round 23. And now it's just about damage. Can they get a few kills? Can they even maybe win it out? But Chill, he's been spotted out. I would have liked for him to get a little bit more aggressive a little bit earlier. But as he's been spotted, his advanced position is going to get negated. Now you've got 2 Glocks, a Tech 9, and well, just 2 Glocks left. Don't think any damage is going to be delivered. That's exactly what's going to happen. Very well done from PERA. They don't scramble. They don't go, oh, guys, the bomb's planted towards A, and run over, fleetingly walking into the crosshairs of the T side. But as I said, that bomb down is going to go a long way. I still think they shouldn't buy, though. I'd really honestly like them to have gone for a double eco here. Because, like, look, Keen is 3k, Kree is 3.8, Chill 3.5. Like, it's such a weak buy. You have 2,400 going into the next round, so you can't even buy if you lose this one. And I know you don't want to play for that final round, but is this really what you're going to use? Mac 10, Galils, AKs with no util? It's not great for System5, I can't lie.
Feels like we might just have that OT after all. But the show's not over just yet. Again, we're going to see that quick push in towards apartments here. Mac 10! Good lord! MSN just not aware. Camion will trade it out, however. That's not where the bomb's going. Well, it kind of is, but in a roundabout way. Ooh, spots one backside. Camion takes a lot of damage, swings out and gets one for himself. But he has traded out. He's kept it even though. 3 versus 3. And given his team time to start this rotation, DGL just finds himself in position and he will get the kill onto Kree. Bomb is going to get planted, but it's Aaron jumping down, able to get one. Patrick has so much to do here. 1 versus 3. No idea where each of these individual players are. Swings out, taken down. A quick and easy defuse. 11 rounds on board for PERA. Systems money in a very tight spot. They'll be able to force again, but again, it's going to be a less than ideal situation. I'm feeling that OT, man. It's coming.
Yeah, I really agree. I think you're spot on right there. Keen being sent solo out B, that's happened 2 or 3 times, and every time I always say, like, if he had someone else, he probably would have won the round. And also, what I don't like about them sending someone out fast B, it's the read that Camion's playing aggressively middle. But if you see nothing and hear nothing in middle, then you have to assume that Camion's actually playing towards short, like he is like he was in the last 2 or 3 rounds. And this is the round where he's not. I mean, I guess my point is really standing because I haven't seen anything top middle. But yeah, send someone out B by themselves. When they had maybe one more player with them, they would have won the round completely. Very unfortunate and a very strange overpeak from Kree into Dior. Missed smoke and window this round. This is looking really rough. This is looking like overtime written all over it. DGL first pick should have been Keen, but the AWPer misses. Keen should be able to upgrade to the AWP.
No shots.
And because the connector players died, because they have no information towards A, it's forced for the aggression from Poyer towards Gramp. Camion dies towards short. Arian dies towards Murder Hole. And now MSN rotating in. A1S has been retrieved. The nade's not going to do any damage. They've spotted him out. We said overtime was most definitely going to happen, but that is not the case. System5 at the final hurdle are able to close the game 13-11, very similar to Vertigo. They let their extended lead get away from them, but both times they are able to close it out, and System5 go 1-0 in your Group A.
Really, really well done to them. Honestly, a hard-fought victory. It felt like that last round in particular, it just seemed like everything was going right for them. Some beautifully hit shots there, being able to out-snipe DGL despite not having an AWP. You know, these things do happen sometimes. Cracks open the site for them. Beautiful placement. And that's going to be them, as you said, winning out this first series on day 1 in EU. But of course, it's not over just yet. We have, what was it, 24 teams that are battling it out for that top spot. Yeah. There is a long road to go, but I've been quite impressed with System5. For PERA, I feel like the tech issues that plagued them throughout the day definitely played a part. It is a little bit of an asterisk on this, but I don't want to take too much away from System5. They played incredibly well, and PERA just felt like they weren't up to the task today. Perhaps when they return for their next match, they'll be looking a little bit more clean and a little bit more tight. That theoretically will be tomorrow, depending on how scheduling is looking. I know that some of the games are being rescheduled because we've got so much CS action happening. So it might be tomorrow, but we'll find out on that one. So there are a lot more opportunities for PERA to come back into this.
Yeah, and well, speaking about just like the grander scheme of things, SAW are actually down 9-11 against Rush B. I think Rush they've lost 2 rounds in a row. They have a low buy. I'm just looking at the HLTV stuff right now. So it's looking like 10-11. But even then, like SAW, they're really being tested in a way that I was not anticipating. I thought they were going to clean away this game in a pretty confident 2-0 manner. And it looks like a third. I mean, it is a 1-round game towards the very end. But yeah, very well done for Project Fide. The first time we've seen them on a 0 for a while. And Poyer, not Poyer, for PERA, it was like, look, they struggled with the RMR because they never really played against that caliber of opponent. However, when you come back to online CS and you play against the caliber that you're used to, or maybe even lower, then have to win it out. So still question marks over their head. We can go take a look at our MVP for the series, and I think it's gonna have to be Keen again. Like I know it. That's kind of my mental of like. Oh, as MVP of the second map only, not of the series. So the MVP of the second map is Chill. Actually, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Fair
for
enough.
Chill. I think like he didn't maybe have like the stats wise didn't look amazing for him. But what's ironic enough is that System5, he actually had the best stats even though they won it out. They maybe struggled in that regard. But I was still very impressed with Keen regardless, and I think over the series he did really well, especially in that last round. And if you cast your mind back to his double entry and subsequent 1v1 that he won.
Yeah, I think that for this map in particular, you know, Chill, the sheer number of multi-frags that he was getting, some of those very, very cheeky, aggressive plays as well that just kept paying off time and again. It really did so much to position his team to continue to just kind of snowball through. So I think that was a well-deserved one for map 2. I know we do have a player of the series. We are just waiting for the final tally to come in. You said you think it's going to be Keen. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you there. I think across the board, he's definitely been a super consistent player.
I guess either Python or Keen. I guess that's probably my two picks. Python maybe got the MVP in map 1. He did really well. He had 21 to 13. And they both kind of had similar games in this map. So I guess it really could go to either of them. But no, really well done from System5, especially in that last round. Just like cracking open that A-bomb site when the player was like, DGL gets his first kill. Oh, never mind, Keen somehow has killed him. And then it's like, just everything fell away. You had no one in CT, so then Poya had to push deep in towards ramp. But we do have the series MVP, and it is going to be Keen. I am right on that one. Maybe not the best of maps statistically in the second, but did really well on map 1 and also was very consistent in map 2. It's you know the classic, take a screenshot of the match page and go, guess who won the map? And it wasn't PERA, even though they were a lot higher up on the scoreboard, especially Camion and TJ, who both did do very well, to be fair to them.
Yes, sir. And that just about rounds us up for this day. I am just trying to double check to see what our games for tomorrow will be. As I mentioned, unfortunately, there was a number of games that unfortunately had to be postponed due to some other tournaments that are happening at the same time. But it looks like Aurora versus Big was also... We have 9 against Sangal tomorrow. There you go. Thank you, production. You, the MVP. Bigger MVP than Keen. Not really. So if you...
No, don't diss the producer. Producer's the old MVP.
Oh,
okay, deal with us all day.
You got a point. Between our mic problems and everything else that was going on, shout out production, shout out Marion. You're the MVP. But we will have 9 versus Sangal tomorrow, so guys, do come check that out if you're around. Same time, same place from Freddie and I. That's about it, guys. We will be seeing you very, very soon. We are going to be in the regular rotation for casting ECL season 47. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon.